I know it's probably way too early to have this conversation, but Dagan Hughes, our producer, put it on the rundown, so we are going to have this conversation. Zach Edey, right now, is he the front runner for National Player of the Year? T.O., I'm giving you this one first.
I think at this point he has to be, just from being dominant, from a dominance perspective over every game. He's been MVP, according to Ken Palm, of every game he's played this season. And he's averaging over, 20 and 12? I don't have the numbers right in front of me. But as far as the pieces around him, they all work because of what he does. So he's expediting the process of some of those guards that are younger because he's been so dominant. So at this point, I mean, who else would you put in that category right now? I think he's the front runner at this point.
Yeah, I think you need to put Jalen Wilson in that conversation. I think eventually we're going to have Marcus Sasser in that conversation as well. But a lot of it depends on who ends up being. You got to put up really good numbers on a really good team, Gio. And I think that, I mean, it's got to be Edey, leader in the clubhouse.
It's hard not to put him at the front runner right now. I mean, and going to who they've beat too, right? Like they just beat Duke, they just beat Gonzaga, they just beat West Virginia. It's not like they've been playing against some cupcakes, right? So he's been dominating against the best of the best as well. Like I don't really have too much to add to what T.O. just said. I mean, I don't think there's much evidence to go against him being the front runner right now.
All right. So I have a hot take for you guys. I want you to tell me if you think I'm an idiot, which is very possible. But after watching that game, I actually feel better about Duke long-term than I did coming into this game. And this is why, T.O. Tyrese Proctor, 16 points, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. Jeremy Roach, 14 points, 2 assists, 2 turnovers. I thought that those two were really good, especially Proctor. Like, he's been the guy that we are waiting to see him get going. Part of the reason why Proctor is not like lighting it up right now is because I want to say he's shooting like 13% from 3. He's basically Andre Curbelo from 3 right now, which is something that you never want to be. But seeing those
just the Curbelo slander, it never stops on the field.
It's never going to stop. No, but I mean, you have those two guards, and I expect Proctor to eventually make shots, right? I think enough people that have seen him play that know what they're talking about to say he's a good enough shooter. I think Lively is going to get better. Like, there's no way this is what he is, right? Same thing with Dariq Whitehead. There's no way this is just what he is. Filipowski's been awesome. Mark Mitchell's been really effective at certain times. I think that what they were missing was that kind of secondary score and somebody on the wing that can make shots. And I think that's going to come. I think their freshmen are going to get better. And it just, I don't know. Am I crazy? Is that a hot take? It could be a hot take.
What's the take?
That I feel better about Duke now than I did before they lost by 19 points.
I don't know. It's a hot take. I mean, we all kind of knew what was going to happen because they're so young. And keep in mind, like, I'm not going to say Zach Edey made them look like 14-year-olds, but from a body perspective, it was close. Like, Derek Lively is not a small human, but he looked really small beside Edey, and Edey knows how to use his weight. So, they're still learning how to compete. The one thing I will say, I liked what John Shire did, mixing up defenses at certain points of the game to kind of infuse some energy. That was something that was sorely missing last year at points, to where you could flip a game on its head by changing something up. Kay didn't like to do that as much. He liked guys to ride it out. John's trying to tinker with some things right now. I like them going forward. Filipowski, man, he's a stud, and he brings a lot of different elements to the table for that team. The better Proctor plays, the better they're going to be. But I like the fact that they're playing more bodies. I think some of those veteran pieces that they added are fine. I think eventually what's going to have to happen is Ryan Young's just going to have to come off the bench, and you're just going to have to put your dudes out there. But that has to happen after everybody gets healthy. But that 4-5 of Filipowski and Lively, that is a multi-dimensional, inside-out couple of 7-footers that I think, in my opinion, can play together. We still haven't seen the best of Lively, and I don't even think
he hasn't made a shot that's not a dunk yet this season.
I know, and he's going to make shots, and he's going to make shots. So it's just taken him a while to get going.
Yeah, so, Gino, any thoughts on Duke?
Who do you think is their go-to guy? That's my question. Like is it Roach?
I think it's going to eventually be Proctor. Like, if he continues to develop and continues to get better, I think it's going to be. He was so good today.
I think it's eventually going to be Whitehead. I think it's going to be Whitehead.
Think so?
Yeah, I think eventually it's going to be Whitehead. Filipowski's kind of filled that role right now. Whitehead has the physical ability from an athleticism standpoint to be able to get one when he's healthy. He just hasn't been healthy. once Duke gets going and they're clicking in the right direction, he figures out his rotations. I think Whitehead could be that guy, but I think for everybody to fit together, I think to go along with what you say, Gio, like Roach has to be a huge piece of that.
So it sounds like you guys just both think that, you know, these guys are going to get better. They're not a finished product right now. These freshmen are going to step up. But what I took away from the game was their wings need to step up big time. Like, they just don't have the wing scoring right now. But like, I don't think it's a super hot take because I you know, obviously they are freshmen, they are young, they're getting comfortable. It is a new coach situation. You know, there's a lot of different things going on. You know, I do think that these guys are going to learn quickly and they're going to grow up fast.